Okay, everybody, it's time for part 3 of this video where I get to do some accessories on this fancy chicken. But this video is going to be different. Harder for me than making a bunch of jokes because this one I kind of want to be serious about it. Not too serious though because I'm painting a fancy hat on a chicken. So I can only be so serious. This painting is actually inspired by a very wonderful lady that I used to go to church with. My family and I moved to this church when I was in middle school, and we didn't know anyone. But my family knew this woman from the church that we had previously been to. She had been there when they were younger. So they actually had the opportunity to know her and her husband a lot better than I ever did. But from the beginning, I was in middle school, and I didn't know anybody at this church, and I was really upset that we had left our previous church because all my friends were there and I grew up there. But as soon as we got to this church, this woman was so kind to me. She was happy to see me every Sunday morning. She always asked how I was doing. She was very enthusiastic, truly a deeply loving and kind person who just kind of sparkled with joy. My family always ended up sitting in the pew directly in front of her and her husband, and we always got to talk to her a little bit before service started. One of my very favorite memories of her is that she always looked so lovely. She had the most colorful outfits. Each Sunday, she wore a different outfit. She wore a completely different church hat. She wore a completely different matching pantsuit with it. And guys, she always looked fantastic. Her style was so unique and admirable. I can't imagine ever having a closet big enough to have a different fancy hat for every single Sunday of my life, but somehow she did. And while her clothing options are probably the least interesting thing about her because she was such a phenomenal, kind, and joyful woman, it, I think, is a really good reflection of her sparkling personality. Like, she put so much meticulous care and thought into every Sunday outfit because she wanted to give God her best, is what she would say. That I think that was just a reflection and an extension of who she was as a person, and it just makes me smile to think about her. Anyway, this lady had such a heart for people and so much love for people. She always had a smile for you when you came to church on Sunday. She had a way of making you feel special and seen that is almost unmatched. So why a chicken, you might ask? Well, in the Bible, there are multiple references to God gathering his people under the shelter of his wings. And that's what she did as well. She collected people and made them feel loved and sheltered. Anyway, that's the last thing I'm doing is this jeweled beetle brooch because she always had those as well. She would have a vast array of different rhinestone brooches that were always different and unique and fantastic. So this one's a little bit wonky, but oh well, it's a chicken. So only thing left is to sign my name and put it in the sunshine. Here it is. I hope that she would appreciate this. I haven't seen her since we left that church out of high school, but it makes me think of her and it makes me smile. So I hope you guys enjoyed it too, and I hope you guys have someone at your church that was as loving as she was. Let me know about your experience down in the comments and follow for more. Anyway, here's the final result. Introducing Miss Marylin. Okay, bye.